But I also asked David at the meeting up there to slide a paper into our bills, whether you want it or you don't want it. It would have been an added cost for Vermont Electric Co-op, and that hasn't been done.
Yeah, I'll address that. First of all, you elected the board of directors. We had this discussion at our board of directors meeting, and our board of directors really felt it was their job to provide the leadership for you. And we did discuss the possibility of going out and getting a survey for the entire membership. But our board pretty much said, you know, our members can vote with our feet. We really feel strongly, we believe in our decision, and we support our decision. And you know, you certainly, if you make the wrong decision, you know, you have an opportunity to elect new directors in, next year. But let me also add that there's a lot of data behind this. Utilities got together last year and really surveyed Vermonters. And we see that, you know, we recognize that a lot of you here were opposed to wind in your view shed. But what the data says is that 90% of Vermonters support wind, even if it's in their view shed. Now, me as a utility manager, as your utility manager, whatever generation source I bring into your town, there are going to be people that don't like it. So we really, you know, we really have to really carefully weigh all the issues of the majority. It is the belief of our board of directors that the majority of Vermont Electric members want a wind project, even if it's in their view shed. I also want to say the benefits to the towns. You know, I hope that whatever decision is made by the town of Lowell, you know, I hope to be standing in front of you in 2013 and having you understand that I told you the facts and the truth. You know, the matter is, if we get to that 2013 and we have these power supply issues or we don't have them, it really is about the decision of the membership. So what is the benefit for the other towns? The benefit for our members, the membership, is having a secure source of local power.
Had her hand up earlier. There's a microphone back.
And I didn't really have a viewpoint on the wind towers at first, but when you turn the beacons on, and I saw with my own eyes what 3 beacons can do, I can't imagine the ridge line of Lowell Mountain with the light pollution that I see from my house. And I am encouraging everybody, because those lights are off. And they've been off. Some migratory bird studies were done in our gravel pit. The lights were off. And I would really like to be told the whole truth. And I'd like for everybody that's here, that's going to vote for it, to be on Lowell Mountain when all those beacons are on. Because let me tell you, you won't like it.
Exactly. I agree.
Thank you. I'm Paul Bruja from Southern Vermont, and I've been active in ridge protectors as we consider how to be effectively represented in the public service process to oppose First Wind's 40-megawatt project there. Unfortunately, I've had to deal with the same parade of experts, Jeff Nelson, Mr. Kaliski, Mr. Raphael, before the Public Service Board, and our experts essentially were completely disenfranchised in that process. And I'm speaking about very well qualified people who told a very different story. Our background noise level in our community is around 23 decibels at night, and you're representing 45 decibels as being normal. There's going to be a lot of noise from these turbines. You're going to hear it downwind, probably a mile and a half, enough so that it will be disturbing. But I'd like to ask the gentleman from Vermont Electric Co-op, as you consider options to provide locally produced power, sir, renewable power, why is it that you aren't considering a biomass plant? We've closed down all the pulp mills over in New Hampshire. We need a continuing outlet for low-grade wood in this area. It would be very sustainable to put in a multi-megawatt, reliable baseload plant, which after all is what all you PEC customers want. When you turn that light on, you want that light to come on. And that's not the case with wind. It's very variable, it's very high cost, and it's unpredictable. So, thank you. You can answer this question, please.
Yes, thank you. In fact, I think biomass is a very important consideration in our power supply portfolio. We're actually partnering with Casella Waste Systems and Zero Point, and we built a 1.8 megawatt gasifier that can be used for local distributed generation projects. So we are looking seriously at biomass as one of the options. One of the problems you face with biomass, and really ties to the power consumption, the large amounts of power that are consumed by forests. Vermont has about 5.19 million acres of land, 8% of it's forested. And only about 20% of that land is available in forest management. And if you look at that land, there's only about 50 megawatts of wood, and this is, I'm quoting the Biomass Energy Research Center study on forest biomass in Vermont. So if you look at 50 megawatts of possible available woody biomass with a 650 megawatt base load, it is a solution, but again, it's about a 7 or 8% solution. And we also have to be careful, and I think you're seeing the studies come out now about how you approach your forest management. You know, we're also working closely, we've been working closely with University of Sherbrooke to look at growing wood as an agricultural product, because you've got to be very careful with your forest silviculture and not overtapping your forest. So there's a lot of learning to be done with biomass, and we're actively involved in that learning. Because what we really don't want to do is really, if you talk to foresters, you'll understand each time you remove a log from the forest, you remove some of that soil's replenishment. So but again, it's all tied to that whole study. We do believe wood is one of the alternatives, but it may be a 7 to 10% solution.
With wood plant, you provide jobs in the plant, you provide jobs in the woods, you provide jobs in the trucking industry. People up here need these economic spurs, as opposed to a wind plant where you have 1 or 2 security personnel and all the power generated going out of state by and large, and the profits going to Quebec.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of stuff and people here telling us all kinds of statistics, pie charts, all kinds of stuff. It costs a fortune to produce this. In all respect, I've listened to the Public Service Board tell us how great our phone system was going to be when we got it. Fair point. I've been lied to about DSL. I've been lied to about T1 lines. I don't want to hear any more lies. I don't want to hear any more stories. That picture that's standing there does not represent the size of those towers accurately. When we had a meeting here several years ago, I made a sign that looked very similar to that. And the sign that I made, and people who came here said I was exaggerating the size of the signs. I'll tell you, those towers on that picture are grossly smaller than those towers actually will be. And you have people stand here and tell me you're bribing this town with money.
Exactly.
So that we can look at towers in Albany and Craftsbury. There is a tourist industry in this state that's dying. Millions of dollars are being invested in more rooms, but nobody's staying in them. And you want to put another $100 or so million in towers and no jobs for it.